So Arsenal began 2021 with a fantastic away victory at West Bromwich Albion. Is this the start of better things to come? Hello, I'm Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over and over again, the Positive Arsenal channel. In this video, I'm going to look back on yesterday's superb victory at West Bromwich Albion as we started 2021 in fine style. Just what I do, I want to make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. So if you like what I do, or if you're new here and you want to get some nice, good Arsenal content, positive Arsenal content, please click the subscribe button down in the corner there. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as well. If you've got any comments at all about the match yesterday, the team selection, who your man of the match would be, or anything at all to do with Arsenal, please drop them in the comments box below. As I always love to hear from you guys as well. So in terms of the team lineup, then there wasn't really an awful lot of changes, was there? Not expected to be either. The run that we've been on, 2 great victories over Christmas. In the end, it was just the 2 changes. In fact, it was the 2 changes that I predicted in my preview video, which I released at the end of the week. So it saw El Neni rested from the midfield and replaced by Dani Ceballos. And then in the attacking area, Gabriel Martinelli was also rested following a lot of games in a short period of time. And he was replaced by Alexander Lacazette, with Aubameyang moving to the left-hand side. So it was basically the same team that's been playing in the last couple of games. It was Bernd Leno in goal. The back 4 was Hector Bellerin, Rob Holding, Pablo Mari and Kieran Tierney. Then the 2 sitting in midfield, so it was Granit Xhaka and Dani Ceballos. Then the 3 along the front, it was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on the left, Bukayo Saka on the right, and Emile Smith-Rowe in the number 10 role behind the striker, Alexander Lacazette. So not too many surprises there. I think Martinelli probably needed a rest. A lot of games he's played after his long injury layoff. And also as well, of course, El Neni as well, played a lot of football lately. It made sense to maybe rotate there as well and bring Dani Ceballos in. So that was the team as expected. Of course, the only thing negative really before the start of the game was the weather. A lot of snow actually in the West Midlands before the game. There was even talk of maybe the game getting called off. Lots of snow on the pitch. But in the end, the weather did slightly improve. They managed to clear the pitch and the game did go ahead, which from our point of view was just as well that it did. For me, there were 2 real big turning points in this game. And it just goes to show, doesn't it, how small the margins are. We've ended up winning this game 4-0, fully deserved as well for a fantastic all-round performance. But just before we took the lead with our first goal, West Bromwich Albion had a really good chance to score, didn't they? It was a breakaway from one of our attacks. The ball fell to their striker, Roberts, got a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, Leno, and he fired the ball straight at him. Whereas if he'd managed to find one of the corners and scored, given West Brom the lead, it would have been a totally different game. And of course, just to rub salt into their wounds, we did score our opening goal just a few minutes later. And what a great goal it was as well. Kieran Tierney, who's been probably our most consistent player for the best part of a year now, got forward down the left-hand side as he likes to do, beat his man twice, cut back inside before curling an excellent shot with his right foot into the far corner of the net. A really, really good solo goal. And his celebration just goes to show how much this all means to him. How much playing for Arsenal means to him and how much he wants to succeed and make the club successful. And that was great to see. Of course, before the game in the snow, he was warming up in just a T-shirt, no gloves, while all the other players were wrapped up with snoods and gloves and hats and everything. He's out there just in his T-shirt as though it's the middle of summer. He's a different character, isn't he, to the rest of the team, and that showed with that goal. Fantastic as well to give us the important breakthrough as well. I did feel before the game that the first goal in this game was going to be crucial. West Brom, of course, got absolutely hammered at home, didn't they, a few days before. So they needed a good start. And I think this goal really was the turning point, coming soon after that miss from West Brom. Just soon after that as well, we made it 2-0. Instead of a solo goal, this was a fantastic team goal. Some superb link-up play. It was Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe. The ball eventually went to Lacazette. He played it back to Smith-Rowe on the right-hand side of the penalty area. He maybe could have shot himself, but it was a bit of a tight angle. Instead, he looked up, saw the run of Bukayo Saka into the penalty area, drilled the ball across the 6-yard box for Saka to fire home from close range. A fantastic goal, and that really sums up what these young players are about. It's fantastic movement and link-up players, transformed our attacking game in the last few weeks, hasn't it? And this just showed the improvements that we've made. Fantastic goal, one of the contenders, I think, for goal of the season, just with the movement and the passing and the way it was finished off as well. Absolutely brilliant. And that put us in control at half-time. In fact, we could have been 3 or 4 up. Their goalkeeper, Sam Johnson, who I think is a great goalkeeper, actually, you can see what a great shot stopper he is. He made 3 or 4 good saves. One very early on from Hector Bellerin with his legs, one from Alexander Lacazette as well. So he had a good half, and in fact he kept the score down and kept West Brom in the game. The second turning point for me came quite early in the second half. West Brom came out fired up. Big Sam obviously got into him at half time. We maybe wasn't quite on the game in the start of the second half, and West Brom did score a goal. It was an initial shot, came back off the post, and it fell to the edge of the box to Phillips, I think it was, and he drilled the ball into the roof of the net, but the flag had gone up. It was offside in the build-up to the move. It was the right decision, but I think if West Brom had pulled it back to 2-1 at that point in the second half, it would have been a lot more uncomfortable for us. But it was disallowed, rightly so. And we took full advantage of that. Of course, our third goal had a little bit of luck about it, didn't it? A good move initially in the build-up. Bukayo Saka again did really well down the right-hand side, put in a great cross. I don't quite know what their defender was doing. His attempted clearance came back off the post. Smith Rowe's shot was blocked, and eventually it fell to Lacazette to drill into the corner. A bit of pinball it was in the penalty area before, a bit of a strange goal. And maybe a couple of weeks ago that wouldn't have fell our way, and we wouldn't have got a goal from it. So it just goes to show, doesn't it? When you're winning games and things are going your way, these things happen, and that's what we did in that game. And I think that really sealed the points for us, 3-0, and there was no real way West Brom were going to come back after that. And then, as we did in the first half, we scored again straight after scoring initially. This was another good build-up actually. Aubameyang got clear in the sort of inside left channel, played it out to Tierney on the far side, and his low cross into the penalty area was turned home by Lacazette from inside the 6-yard box. A second close range finish that we created in this game. Another goal for Lacazette as well. He's absolutely on fire at the moment. Another 2 goals for him. He's had a great Christmas, hasn't he? 5 goals in 4 games, including, of course, the Carabao Cup tie against Manchester City. He's now head and shoulders our top goal scorer this season, and it maybe puts into more focus Aubameyang's problems. I thought he was very poor in this game again, unfortunately. Probably the only negative really from this whole performance. His head looks down. He had a couple of chances. There was one in the second half when he's got clear, went past the defender on the outside, and although it was a decent enough shot, it was straight at the goalkeeper. They had a sort of chances in a fire in. Aubameyang puts away, and there was one in the first half as well, wasn't it? I think it was a cross from Saka, drilled across to the far post, and he was a little bit late getting there and couldn't quite turn it home. And I say these are the chances you'd normally expect him to score. His confidence is low, and I say that's probably the only downside to the performance actually yesterday. Of course, Martinelli can jump into that position, can't he? And I think that's looking likely to be the case. Is it time for Aubameyang maybe to have a little bit of a rest? I know he got injured, and he missed a couple of games anyway, but maybe it's time for him to have a step out of the side for a bit. Let Martinelli have a little run in there again, and I think maybe the team will benefit as a whole. This was the sort of game you'd have imagined in the past. Aubameyang would definitely have scored a 4-0 away win. Aubameyang normally scores 1 or 2 of them goals, but he didn't on this occasion, and I think that's the only thing that we really need to be slightly concerned about is his form at the moment. But everything else, obviously, this performance was fantastic. Yes, people will say it was only West Bromwich Albion, and that's of course true. But we put in a similar performance against Chelsea, one of the best teams in the league, and it would have been almost a similar result, wasn't it? We were 3-0 up in that game. We had a few chances to make it 4. So it doesn't matter who the opposition are. The way that we played in this game for large spells is good enough to beat most teams in this league, and we need to be really delighted with this performance and this result. So the man of the match, and again, it's there's a lot of candidates. There's some good performances from Arsenal again. I thought defensively we were really, really solid. I thought the centre-back partnership between Rob Holding and Pablo Mari has really developed nicely over the last few games. It wasn't necessarily by choice from Arteta, was it? It was more because of Gabriel being out and David Luiz being out as well. So these two have stepped up, and it's a good partnership. I think they complement each other well. I think Pablo Mari's really stepped up his performances, and Rob Holding's been really, really solid. I think this was a typical game that he's going to enjoy. Bad weather, the more direct approach from West Brom right up his street, and he lapped it up, didn't he? He was brilliant, Rob Holding. I thought Danny Ceballos did well. I thought he won a lot of 50-50 challenges. He was neat and tidy with the ball. He complements Granit Xhaka quite well when he's on this form. And of course, then you had the two young guys up front who, as well, once again, fantastic performances. Emile Smith-Rowe, brilliant performance again. You can see what a great player he's going to be. He just needs to be playing more regularly, get regular run in the team. You can see what he can do. And of course, Saka, what can you say about Bukayo Saka again? Down that right-hand side, he's so direct. Having him on the right and Kieran Tierney on the left, it gives us quality from both wings now, rather than just down one side. And you can see how much more balanced we are, how much more our attacking plays benefited from that. And of course, Lacazette needs credit as well, doesn't he, for his 2 goals and his general work rate as well. In fact, under normal circumstances, I would probably have given man of the match to Lacazette for his performance. But the performance, once again, of Kieran Tierney cannot be ignored. So I'm going to go man of the match in this game to Kieran Tierney, not only for his first goal, crucial goal, fantastic goal it was, and also for his real passionate celebration. Just his all-round performance again. He's just consistent every week, isn't he? You know he's going to give you 110%. He's got the quality as well. Defensively, he's solid, and getting forward as well, he's got some great quality. And that goal was just fantastic. So for me in this game, the man of the match has got to go to Kieran Tierney. Well, it was a great start to the year, wasn't it? Couldn't have gone any better than we'd hoped, really. A 4-0 away win. The conditions were not great. West Brom were probably desperate for some points as well, following their heavy defeat, of course, during the week. So this was a really good performance from Arsenal as well. You know, we'd have took a scrappy 1-0. I predicted a 2-0 actually, but we'd have all took a scrappy 1-0 beforehand. So to win 4-0 and in the way that we did, playing the football that we did, is a really good sign. Some of these young players really have grown, haven't they, into the side over the last couple of weeks. I say particularly Emile Smith-Rowe and Bukayo Saka. Those two now should be first names on the team sheet, really. I know Martinelli was rested in this game, but he's done enough in the last couple of games to justify his place as well. The future looks a little bit brighter, doesn't it? Suddenly we were wondering where the next win was coming from, and now you think we can win every single game. You look at the next games coming up, and you can see more victories coming, and that just goes to show, doesn't it, how quickly things can change in football, and in particular in this particular season where it's been so unpredictable, and nobody's really strung together a consistent set of results. We're now only just, I think, is it 3 points off the top 6, 6 points off the top 4. So, you know, another couple of victories, we could be right back in there challenging again. You know, from going from relegation candidates to possible top 4 finish could be an amazing turnaround. And I think this last few performances have been the sort of team and the sort of setup and system that Arteta has been wanting to use previously. And maybe he was tied in with some of the older players, some of the more experienced players who were letting him down. Suddenly he's thrown the youngsters in, and look at the difference. So things are looking positive. Of course, we haven't got a game now for another week, have we? Next Saturday, our FA Cup defence starts against Newcastle. It's going to be a tough game. They're a difficult team to break down, and we have struggled at home to break teams down, haven't we? So that's going to be a tough game. Let's make no mistake about it. I don't think there's any replays either, so I think it will go straight to penalties. So it's going to be a tense game, possibly. So we'll be looking ahead to that one. So stay tuned to the channel. There's lots coming up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe in the corner down in the bottom there. Give this video a thumbs up as well. I will be doing some great stuff on the channel this week. I'm looking at our history in the FA Cup as we build up towards the Newcastle game. I'll have a podcast as well in the build up to that as well, maybe Thursday or Friday, looking ahead to that FA Cup game. And then of course also as well, there'll be the game next week as well. We play Crystal Palace, don't we? And then we play Newcastle again. So it's a busy time still as we move into January. So lots coming up on the channel. So please stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support of the channel. Hope you enjoyed the game yesterday. Certainly a great start to the year, wasn't it? And of course, in the meantime, as always, come on, you Gunners!